In this last segment with Ryan Larussa, Courtney and I talk about difficult deals. And Ryan put a little bit different spin on it. And he also talked about what he thinks is going to happen in 2025 in the mortgage industry and the real estate industry in general. So if you're interested to know what he believes 2025 has in store for the real estate industry and for mortgages particularly, check out this conversation with Ryan Larussa from Synergy One. We like talking about difficult real estate transactions.
Yep.
And when we were having the kind of prep work for this conversation, the interesting twist that we put on it was you have 3 or 4 loan officers on your team that all are in different segments of the world and the segments of life, different experiences, different ages. And so y'all all are able to kind of focus on your group of people and be specialized in what they offer, what they need, right? Obviously, you work with every borrower that needs assistance, but at your point in your career, a lot of your peers are at a stage where they may be buying their forever home and they may have businesses and they may be writing off income and things like that. And so you have your own expertise, and Adam works with the first-time home buyer, second-time home buyer, doing that type of thing. And so how do you, when y'all are dealing with those types of transactions and y'all are playing in those areas, how are y'all solving the problems unique to your ideal client or that client you're spending time with?
That's good. So I remember, you and I, the last conversation, we were talking about who's your ideal client. Mm-hmm. It's got me thinking a lot. I think your ideal client has to change, mm-hmm. right? And so people that are not willing to adapt, adjust, and change, they suffer. Mm-hmm. And so if 32% of the buyer market out there is first-time home buyer, another 25% is investors, that's where the fish are. That's where we have to fish.
Yeah.
And so our mindset is all about the numbers. So if we know where our leads are coming from, who's getting the leads, how we're able to help, how I'm able to coach these agents to help them go get more business, to help, in turn, all of us win, then it's a win-win relationship. Yeah. And so I manage by the numbers, meaning like I can tell you if we take 100 leads a month, we're going to close 20 to 25 deals. Mm. That's how exact it is. We're trying to get 4 to 6 leads a day, one good application. But my business is going to look different than the other folks on my team. But I can't say, well, I'm 45 years old and I can't relate to first-time home buyers. I help a ton of first-time home buyers, but guess what? They understand our process and our playbook and what we're trying to do. If you and I are working together, like right now, I've got several people working to buy their kids a first-time property around LSU. They're going to LSU. Well, if I can properly structure that deal for them, they're like, wow, I thought I had to put 20% down. No, let's put the loan in your son's name. You're the non-occupant co-buyer, and you could put 3 to 5% down in order to make that. I came up with a solution because I understood the problem and helped you solve it. So I don't ever think that, hey, I only work with this step-up buyer. I do. I work with a lot of investors and things like that. But right now, where's the fish? 32% first-time home buyer, 25% investors. The investor, the DSCR loan has been a huge hit for us. The buy before you sell has been a huge hit for us. Those are solutions that we're coming up with in order to get people from, why are you going to make a move? What's the hot button? What are we really trying to accomplish? Mm-hmm. I mean, people are buying houses all across the country all day long. Are we talking about affordability? Are we talking about return on the investment? Because really, at the end of the day, last year, everybody was all fired up in the stock market about their return. Mm-hmm. First quarter of this year, ain't nobody really talking about their return in the stock market. Yeah. So it's our job to talk about what's important. Right. If we're just talking about rate and closing costs, that's a small portion. I know a lot of people that put a lot of money down and got the wrong program, and they're very frustrated about the type of loan that they got. Yeah. So did we provide the right solution? Did we find out what's the problem and come up with a viable solution in order to help? So I can show you, hey, look, we're helping you build wealth. You put this amount of money down, you got this amount of return. Your return on your investment in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years is 200%. That's a tangible number, not just, well, you need to go do this deal over here, this, that, and the other. I don't like to talk just programs, but you have to be able to have all the programs to be able to come up with the right solutions. Yeah. So that's going back to, why did you build a team? People ask me all the time, you're a successful single loan officer, because it's fun to win with a team of individuals that everybody is going in this direction. Yeah. And I think that I know you guys do a great job here, is like, hey, do you have the right people? Yes. Are they on the right seat on the bus? Mm-hmm. Yes. When that properly aligns, man, business is fun. When it doesn't align, and trust me, I've made plenty of mistakes. It is like climbing up this hill. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm never can get up to the top.
Yeah.
So put the goal out there. Let's talk about the solution. You know, where's the solution? I want to buy a house. Why? Most people are like, well, my dad told me to come talk to you. He told me it'd be a good idea to get in. Like, man, you're not ready to buy a house yet today. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you get you in position, but I'm also going to educate you to where you're thinking, man, I'd be a fool not to do business with those guys.
Yeah, for sure. At what point, at whatever point in time you're ready.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where, as Hermosi says, to make the offer so good that people feel stupid not to accept it.
Yeah.
And the question is, what's your offer?
Yeah.
And is it that good? And so I like that. And in this market, so much has been challenging, as you said, right? Like we all had the Midas touch in 21, right? Like stuff like that. None of us realized how much the wind was against our back helping us, right? But especially in this difficult market, the best thing is you guys, the system that you're falling to, right? But then the also other part of that is you have different tools in your team, right? So because you have different people in your team, it's not just your strengths, it's the different tools in your tool belt are what's the strength of this team member, what's the strength of this team member, and then you guys can overcome so much by having that collection there.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to throw in there before we get done? I mean, we talked about the new team you got, the new brand you're wearing, your team, your process, what y'all offer. Tell me what you're looking forward to in 2025. You think it's going to be a good year?
2025 is going to be a great year. I don't look at it like there's not going to be any challenges. I do think the worst is behind us. I feel like, there's always fear in the market, man. When the pandemic was here, there was fear. You go to rates of 8%, there was fear.
When there's multiple offers, there was fear.
Multiple offers, there's fear. Am I overpaying, right? It's our job to manage fear, build great relationships, show people the facts and the numbers. We can't deal on emotion of what we think. Here's the facts. Real estate is the greatest way. And look, here's the truth. I've got a lot of real estate on my own. And so I give people the real good, bad, and the ugly. I'm not going to sugarcoat something. If I don't think it's a good time for you to buy, I'm going to tell you. Yeah. So I think being transparent, being upfront and honest and transparent, super important. Relationships, this relationship that we have here is important because, again, when the market was rolling, it's all good.
Yeah.
When the market's not rolling, who can you relate? Who can you relate to say, hey man, look, what can I do to help you or your agents or your builders or your relationships to add value? Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about. It's not about the next deal. We've been blessed in this industry to help thousands of people. Where sometimes I just pinch myself. I'm like, wow. Mm-hmm. I was able to get into this. I knew nothing about the mortgage industry, and now because of some processes and right opportunities, we've been successful. And I think God's going to look down one day and be like, "Man, well done.
Yeah, good job." Yeah. That's great. Well, I think we should end with that.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Second
Appreciate
time around,
you.
It was great again, and we'll do it again.